William, that was more dramatic than you might have liked, but how pleased to get through?
Yeah, of course, it was a tough game against a top team. We know it's always hard to play against Palace, but I think we did well. We scored almost at the end. Apart from my mistake, who helped us to score at the end, we played well. Kepa was good today, so yeah, we are so happy to be in semi-final now.
You created so many chances, particularly in the first half. When you did get the lead, were you thinking that was enough?
Yeah, of course, first half we played so well, but we knew that it was not enough because we have to score. But at the end we scored, but yeah, unfortunately we conceded at the end of the game, but at the end Kepa saved us in the penalty show, so we are so happy to have him, and we are so happy to be in the semi-final.
Kepa, you've had a relatively quiet night, but then when the goal goes in at the end, are you thinking that's possibly the worst scenario?
Well, I think we should take a couple of opportunities that we had in the first half. I think we played so well, then they changed, they adapt a little bit, and second half was like more 50-50. Even like this, we had big chances, and yeah, it's something that we have to improve. We conceded in a couple of games in the last minute, so something that we have to improve and focus on that.
When it goes deep into a penalty shootout like that and the goals just keep going in and in and in, what is your mindset? You think I just need to get hold of one?
You have to keep the cool and think in the next one. Be focused, don't lose your focus is important, because as soon as you save one, maybe it's decisive.
And William, this game is all about winning silverware. This is a great chance now, you're in the semi-finals.
Yeah, we are so happy to be in semi-final. We have to take... we have to learn the lesson from last season, because we got the semi-final last season, but we lost the two games. So now this season we want to win both games, and we want to go in the final.
Well done both of you. William is the Carabao Cup player of the match. Do the honours, Kepa.
Of course. Big game. Beast.
Thank you, my guy.
Well done.
You know what?
Just about all smiles at the end of that penalty shootout. William Saliba holding aloft the player of the match trophy. A rock, as ever, at the back for Arsenal. Exhalation's as much relief as it is anything else, isn't it? A relief because they found themselves into the semi-finals. This is how it's gone with regards to how we're going to see these teams line up. The quarter-finals with Chelsea beating Cardiff, Manchester City beating Brentford, Newcastle beating Fulham, and then 8-7 on penalties tonight. Arsenal beating Crystal Palace. This is what it means for January, and then obviously into February. Newcastle Man City, January the 13th. January the 14th, Chelsea against Arsenal. Second legs, February the 3rd, Arsenal-Chelsea. And obviously the reverse on February the 4th, Man City and Newcastle, all on Sky Sports, of course.
It's all down to the Frenchman, and it's saved! Another head-in-hands moment for Maxence Lacroix, and it is Arsenal who take the final ticket for a semi-final place in the Carabao Cup.
Semi-finals beckon then for Mikel Arteta and his Arsenal side, winning 8-7 in a penalty shootout at the Emirates. A cracking game of football, particularly so in the second half, and a truly staggering standard of penalties. But, Clinton, as ever, it's got to come to an end sometime, and Max Lacroix, unfortunately, the man to miss. But again, not necessarily the worst penalty you're ever going to see, is it?
No, definitely not. But I think because he's concentrated on the ball, he never once gets his head up to see. Kepa does go a bit early, and he's been favouring that side. But listen, he put his hand up, he wanted to take the penalty, and yeah, he'll feel disappointed. But let me tell you, he's had an outstanding season for Crystal Palace. He's been a brilliant signing, and yeah, it's always a lottery, and he's tried to go into the corner, and you've got to give credit to Kepa. But yeah, he'll feel disappointed. But as I said, he's been brilliant for Palace since he's gone there.
It's a bit of a cliche, isn't it? You come all the way through when you get to the centre-halves taking a penalty. It always feels like a bit more jeopardy in that. But given what Kepa did at that particular moment, Jamie, yes, we know he's got history in previous in shootouts in the Carabao Cup. The reaction speaks volumes, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Semi-final, I love this competition. If you look at it now, Arsenal versus Chelsea's got a great ring to it. Newcastle, obviously, what they did winning it last year, and then Manchester City, two brilliant semi-finalists. And you can see how much it means to the players, because they want to keep this run going. They're in every single competition. They've got a huge squad, a great squad, and there's no reason why they can't compete at every level. And I think what this does to a certain extent for Mikel Arteta, it keeps a lot of players happy. Because players like Norgard, who signs from Brentford, probably thought, I'm going to get more game time than I thought I would like to have done. This keeps him involved. You know, you've got 2 semi-finals in January. And this, you can see the togetherness. It means everything to these players. So a huge win for Arsenal. They made it difficult for themselves in that second half.
Did it? Because, I mean, they got the noses in front with, let's say, not the classiest or...
Probably the scruffiest, ugliest goal you've ever seen. He had a little ring of, no disrespect to Sunday League footballers, I love you guys, but this is Sunday League football at its best. It's like
Talk us through the height at which the goal goes in between Guehi and Mateta.
Oh,
it's just 2 tall men that can't get the legs up.
Well, you can see at the back post, Arsenal do their thing. You know, they're loaded at the back. They've got Marino and Jesus and Calafiori. And then you can see Palace obviously are quite front-loaded with the big guys. But as that ball then comes in, you can see, you know, they're trying to get in this area. Brilliant delivery by Saka. Saliba does a really clever, subtle block, just enough to not be a foul. You can see it probably better on this angle. Just keep an eye on him here. He just does a little block, so he stops Benitez getting where he wants to attack that ball. Right now, there is a next phase. Calafiori gets up, and I think it hits, does it hit Lerma? I think. Anyway,
pinball, isn't it?
And then Lacroix just unfortunately just dips his toe out, and it goes in, and you can see there Mateta. And obviously the captain Gay just can't react. He just comes into that horrible area where you can't get your leg up high enough. You can see the both of them, look, both of them, it's just horrendous. And I thought that was it, knockout blow, game over, but your side, they don't give up.
No, they don't give up, man. As I said, since Gladys has been in charge of Palace, that never say die attitude. It looks like a loopy kind of cross, me and Jamie were saying, from Adam Wharton, but let me tell you something, Jefferson Lerma does have some airtime. He is very, very good in the air, and he knocks it back. And you know what I like about Mark Gay, where you can see a lot of the Arsenal, he anticipated like a centre forward, like he's moving, but the Arsenal defenders are moving back. The only one who moves forward is Declan Rice, but it's a very good finish from Mark Gay, cultured finish through Kepa's legs, and then I thought, they're back in it, and can they, obviously, can they hold on? And they did hold on for the penalties, and you see Glasner, he liked it because he knew they had a chance, but really well worked goal, and credit to Palace. I thought they were very good in the second half.
And the fact that he's celebrating so much then, obviously, before the penalty shootout, Kepa the hero, of course, for Arsenal, but the performance of Walter Benitez in the Palace goal, he had one of those nights where everything just came towards him, Jamie.
And do you know what, David? It actually made you think, is it going to be a night? Is he going to pull off an amazing save? Because he did that. That was obviously quite early in the game. Martinelli, I think this is the one with Jesus. Great header. He gets down low, makes a good double save there. This is another one, just pure reactions, just saving it in him right in the kisser. And good save, but everything was going his way. And this was another one. Great save there. And okay, this might be your night. We've seen many a story like this. And this was a bit of scruffy play there. You can see Declan Rice is trying to get on it, but look how quickly he comes out and smothers that one. He had a brilliant night, but unfortunately just couldn't come up with that penalty. And a lot to do with that was with the quality of the Arsenal penalties. Every single one of them was top.
And given the performance of the goalkeeper in that position, when you've got Dean Henderson looking on, bodes well for England, just keeps him on his toes a little bit.
Yeah, it does, but Dean Henderson's been outstanding. He will be the number one. I think Benitez knows that. I think Dean Henderson's putting pressure on Jordan Pickford, even though Jordan Pickford's the England number one, but I think Henderson's been outstanding. But good credit, it's huge credit that if Henderson ever does pick up an injury, they got a really good goalie in Benitez that can come in.
Yeah. No, I quit. Why are you laughing?
Why are you laughing? I'm not laughing at anything. You two have been fascinating company. Anyway, moving very swiftly on, we're going to get the thoughts of all the managers now. Given the contrasting emotions at the end of this one, Mikel Arteta finally very happy. He was happy for a few minutes, however, it's Arsenal that advance.
Mikel, all's well that ends well, a semi-final now. Can you share your thoughts on the performance?
Well, very happy to win the semi-final. Obviously, we played against a team that is very difficult to generate chances. We generated a lot. We should have scored many more goals than the one that we scored. And when you don't close the games, it can always happen. A short piece, a long throw, or away free kick, like it happened. But you have to rely again on the boxes. And I think the players were so composed with the penalties. And at the end, Kepa managed to save one, and where we want to be.
It was such a dominant first half as well. Gabriel Martinelli in particular, so influential. Would you like to have kept him on the pitch longer? Was that an injury to him in the end?
Yes, so he could not carry on, so we have to make the swap. But I think in general we were really good. We generated a lot of chances. In the second half they were more aggressive and we generated chances, but in open spaces, but we didn't find the trigger there in the right moment to put the ball in the back of the net. But overall, another victory. I'm really happy.
Why was it you think in the second half you were unable to keep the pressure on like you managed in that opening 45?
Well, there were changes that they were a bit more aggressive and the game required something else, but we had many opportunities, but we weren't that precise at the end to kill them, because we had 4 big chances in the second half as well, and then you have to put the game to bed.
And in terms of the 8 changes you made, you must have been really pleased with the influence they had on the game overall.
Yes, because it's always tough. They don't have the right chemistry. It's a lot of changes. Some of them they haven't played together, but I mean their attitude is excellent. I think we have some big individual performances tonight as well. Great to be Javi Jesus after a year almost starting a game and making 100 appearance. Kepa as well, that his level of commitment with the group is just incredible, so very happy for the boys.
You play a lot of knockout football, and I know you don't want them to go to penalties every time, but the quality of those penalties must be quite reassuring.
Yes, very good, very composed, and yeah, he's very good. I mean, that's going to help us in the future if we need to go through that again.
And overall for the club, to get into a semi-final now and be within touching distance of some silverware, what does that mean?
Well, the second season in a row that we are in this competition, in the semi-final, so yeah, game every 3 days. We have the Christmas period right now, so wish everybody a happy Christmas and all the best for the new year, and we will be here again in a few days.
It brings extra games, but it can also bring a lot of confidence, can't it, and a lot of positivity to the players when you have a run like this.
Yes, and it brought a lot of energy in the stadium as well. Thank you everybody, the atmosphere that they created again, so we're going to need them.
Appreciate your time, Mikel.
Thank you.
Good man.
Happy but businesslike as ever, Mikel Arteta. An animated presence on the touchline, isn't he, Jeremy?
Yeah, absolutely. He's emotional. Sometimes people don't like that. Maybe that's been a problem in the past, because I always try to put myself in a position when I'm playing. If I like to see my manager so animated, I feel like you need that bit of calm as well sometimes. And it feels like he has been a little bit calmer this season, but they are, and he is, in an unbelievable position.
Yeah.
So if you'd have said at the start of the season, they didn't have the best of starts and they found their groove. Obviously the big win at Newcastle and everything started to click into place. Champions League has been brilliant. To be here where you are now, and obviously into the Premier League and top of the table at Christmas, it's a great achievement. You have to enjoy it, you have to embrace it. Obviously lots to come now, lots of exciting times for the club. But what it really showed me today, although the subs didn't necessarily have the desired effect in terms of making them better, but it showed you the quality they can bring off the bench. They didn't even bring on Gyökeres and you say 70 million, whatever he cost. And it shows you they have got so much strength in depth. And that was maybe their problem last year, but it certainly isn't this year.
Gabriel Jesus back starting for Arsenal. What do you make of his night tonight, Clinton?
No, I thought it was a handful, and I think it's like having a new signing. As we say, there's be certain games where Gyökeres will have to come out and you can rely on Gabriel Jesus. He's got good movement. I thought he was really good. There was a chance in the second half where he's gone through and a sharp Jesus maybe scores that, but this is where he likes to do most of his work. I said it, in these wide areas, but he's a threat. He can cause all kinds of problems. And as Mikel Arteta alluded to it, he said it was good to see Gabriel Jesus back. He was unlucky with that header, good save from Benitez, but I've said it all along. I like him. I liked him when he was at Man City. I was surprised he left there. And obviously he's gone to Arsenal now. And he just needs a run of games.
I was going to say, from a goal scoring point of view, I mean, as a player, you want to get back and get the minutes back into your legs. How do you get the goals back into your legs?
Yeah, it's difficult. It's chances like that, but you need more minutes. But the thing is, at Arsenal, he's not going to play the 5 or 6 games he probably needs in a row because he's going to have to rotate, because he's got Victor Gyökeres, and me and Jimmy were speaking about. He paid a lot of money for Victor Gyökeres, so he's probably, at the moment, Mikel Arteta is saying that's my main man. But you've got a great person in reserve in Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz when he comes back as well. But I really like Jesus. As I said, he's like a new signing.
From the point of view of where he fits in and keeping the players happy, you were saying, Jimmy, because they're going far in several competitions.
Yeah.
Does that then make Mikel Arteta's job marginally easier, that he can keep a big squad of very talented players happy?
Everyone, because if you're just going for one competition, you've got a massive squad of 25, 26 players, and sometimes you want to do an 11v11 to practice match, and there's even players that can't get in those two teams. it becomes difficult. But right now, you can manage that squad nicely. You know that there's lots of cup games to look forward to. Everyone knows their place right now. Okay, this is our best Premier League 11, barring one or two players. I think they're in a great place. I really do. And, to have Jesus fit, I think you said it before the game, he's never going to be a killer in front of goal. He's never been that prolific. But he offers so much more. He's perpetual motion, nightmare for defenders. He's got so much energy. And, to have him back, and, they've got Marino that can play as a central striker. Havertz, I read today, is going to be close to training again soon. A lot of options, this Arsenal side.
Okay, let's get the reaction now from the Palace end of the spectrum. It's Oliver Glasner with Johnny Phillips.
Oliver, a heartbreaking way to lose a football match, but you must be so proud with many elements of that performance?
Second half, yes. So I think we played a very bad first half. We had a great goalkeeper who kept us in the game. And second half, I saw a complete different team doing much better. It was more open. And huge credit, when you then concede a goal from a corner, and it looked like déjà vu from the league game. And then coming back here again is really great what the players have done. And then, yes, penalty shootout. Honestly, I've watched a few penalty shootouts, but I don't know if I have seen one where all the penalties were taken so well. And then it's somehow it has to end and somebody has to miss. And then today, unfortunately, it was a player of us. But again, this can happen. So I told the players that we have to build up on the second half performance, because everybody's telling us so many games and you are fatigued. And if you can switch like we did today in the second half and playing that way here at the Emirates, was very positive.
Apart from the two substitutions you made at half-time, was there anything else that you felt got you back into that game in the second half?
Yes, we were braver, and of course we were much more aggressive, also out of possession. So to get pressure on the ball, I think Justin Devaney did excellent, and then we played more in their half. We created a few situations. Then you get finishes, you get set plays, and that was much better than in first half. So we were too passive, and then of course we lost the balls too quickly. But it's not so easy to play here against Arsenal. The leader of the Premier League and the leader of the Champions League. So, but again, what we have shown in the second half was really good.
Yeah, there were both goals scored from set pieces. Overall, though, do you feel that the way you defended the set pieces and the way that Arsenal can attack like that was much improved from the weekend?
Oh yes, they're doing so well and deliver the balls really well. But as we showed, if it's a great delivery and then you win the header, and then the second ball was a little bit similar. They won the header on the far post, we won the header on the far post, and then everything can happen. So yes, it was much better, and also I've seen really progress in many parts of the game.
You had to manage the game as well with injuries. What happened to Chris Richards? That looks a bad one.
Oh yes, he got a knock on his foot, and it was had to be stitched, but doesn't look so bad. I don't know if it's possible for him on Sunday, but hopefully in the new year that he's back, because of course this was also we struggled then a little bit with tall players, because he's one of our best headers, and we had to take him off, and Will Hughes comes in. So because we didn't have a tall player on the bench or a tall defender on the bench, so I think players did well. Yeah.
At the moment, do you feel they're just giving everything for you now, because the resources are so stretched, the fixture list is so tough for you? Do you feel they're really responding?
I think again, what I have seen, every single player giving everything today, and that's what we can demand, what we're always demanding from ourselves. And then here at the Emirates, I've seen many teams losing and struggling, and so did we in the first half. But second half again, it was I think an open game, and that shows what we are capable of. And this should be the route and the pathway for the next games.
Thank you for your time, Oliver.
Thank you.
Good man.
He's always very measured, isn't he, in and around the football matches, Oliver Glasner, and he's got a team and a squad that he's absolutely squeezing the utmost out of that he possibly can, given how many games they've been playing over the course of quite a few months now. But another injury, Chris Richards came off the pitch saying he'll possibly need stitches. Given what the transfers were like and the business that they've done, he's already alluded to it, Oliver Glasner, earlier on this season. You've got a very, very, very good manager there Is he been given the tools and the support that he deserves?
No, I don't think so. I think he should get a lot more. And you can see with the players that have gone out and the big one in Eze, and they've obviously brought in Pino, who's been a good. Cambo is not quite ready at the moment. He's a youngster, but he is a centre half. He struggled tonight. And then there's like Sosa, and you got Benitez and Uche who are free and loans. And at the moment he's getting more injuries. He's got Richards out, Kamada out, Munoz out, Ismail Sarr at AFCON. These are 4 regulars in his starting 11. So full credit must go to Oliver Glasner and to the team that are running through brick walls for him, and he doesn't really change it. You can see he said he's got a set 12, and that's what he always thinks. He's got 12 players that he trusts. I think in the January window, the chairman has to back his manager. He has to back him. He's top.
But then, sorry, Tim, so then why does he then? If his future is up in the air, Gahey's as well, what does the ownership do?
So
they give him 100 million quid and then he disappears.
Well, I can see the club side of it as well.
Yeah.
Because if he were to say in the summer that I'm leaving, or he's not going to engage in doing a new contract, and he says I want this player, and this player, and the system that he plays is obviously his system. He's so good at it. Obviously, Manchester United do the same thing, 3-4-3. It works for them. And he does it brilliantly, great exponent of it. But a new manager comes in, he wants to play 4-3-3 or whatever. He might not want 2 wing backs. He might go, I don't know if I necessarily need that player or those players. That's the hard bit. Now, the real difficult one for Crystal Palace, and it's probably the ultimate dilemma in terms of what you do with a player, is what you do with Gay.
Yeah.
Because Gay's now out of contract in the summer. Do you cash in January and get 50 million maybe? You probably could get that. I think Liverpool will probably pay that, or other clubs, certainly, because he's that good. Or do you wait to the end of the season, use him for the end of the season? He'll want him to the end of the season. And he might say, well, if I go somewhere, I'll take you with me. So these are the predicaments that you've got. I feel for the Palace fans because they want the best players there. But if you know he's leaving in the summer and he's not going to sign a new contract, Gay, I think you've got to cash in January. I genuinely mean that. You're not going to go down.
But also as well,
£50 million.
Is there a danger that we saw the scenes at the top where the open top bus parade where potentially you've got a change in the guard here where it kind of peters out a little bit for Palace?
Yeah, maybe so, but you asked Jamie about Palace don't have 100 million to spend, so they would not be spending 100 million in January. Make no bones about that. But I do think if you're going to keep him, you've got a chance of winning the Europa Conference League. I think they want 2 wide men and they want a right back, because when Munoz picks up an injury, you need someone in there who's capable of that. So I think maybe 3 signs. The Mark Gahey situation, that's the one, because he said it all along. I need a replacement for Mark Gahey. He didn't do it in the summer, so now if you lose him in January, you're going to have to
You've got to get a replacement.
And you can't, and it's hard to get a replacement for him because he's outstanding. He's one of the best centre backs there is at the moment in the Premier League, but it's going to be difficult. But they won't let him go, and Oliver Glasner will be disappointed unless they bring in a replacement, and that might have to be a loan.
And he's so good, the manager. You've seen it tonight, even the quality, because he's not got an abundance of subs that he's bringing on that you think, well, that's going to make a real difference. You know, Klein's obviously aging in terms of what he can bring, but he just brought a freshness to the team, and he mentioned it, and I really thought it was a great point. He said, it's very easy to start feeling sorry for yourself. Yes, we are a bit tired. They didn't look tired in the second half. They actually ran non-stop in that second half to get themselves back in the game. So yeah, it's difficult. You want to keep him, obviously, and also you want to keep Gay, but
yeah, you know what it is, Jay? It was because when we were at Fulham a few weeks ago, I was there and I gave him a bit. That's what he needed
one,
tonight.
It was like that one.
He needed that tonight.
He saw that,
I gave him a little masterclass and they went and won against Fulham. If we were there,
are you 2 on overtime?
Different. No, we're just talking amongst ourselves. Getting into the Christmas spirit, aren't we?
We are.
Exactly.
You are getting in the Christmas spirit. And speaking of the Christmas spirit, here are the games coming up for you over Christmas on Sky.
Seamless.
On Boxing Day, it's all about the EFL. Look, we've got 12 games of the Championship from midday. We've got everything in League One and League Two. And then there's a Premier League game to round off the day, just to take you over the edge. Manchester United taking on Newcastle. That's 7 p.m. Sky Sports Premier League.
Great games.
Arsenal fans are very happy indeed. They're in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. All that's left for us to say here at Sky Sports is to wish you all a very Merry Christmas.
Happy Christmas,
Merry Christmas,
See you
everyone.
back here on Boxing Day. Take care. Goodbye.